Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IBM Career Exploration event, and thank you for joining us for this session. My name is Louie, and it is my pleasure today to be your moderator for the second session of our Career Talks. Earlier today, you heard IBM Philippines Country General Manager Mariels Winhofer talk about IBM as an organization, our business, our expertise, our achievements, and our growth plan with a special focus on operations in the Philippines. For this second session, you will hear another top IBM executive talk about what's in store for you in IBM should you decide to build your career with us. Before we begin this session, I would just like to share with you some tips that will help you get the most out of this session. To view the presentation more clearly, you can enlarge the screen. Just click the icon with 4 arrows that is located on the bottom right corner of the presentation screen. At the end, we will conduct a question and answer session for which you can submit your questions by typing them in. If you want to submit a question during the presentation and are in full screen mode, simply press the escape key on your keyboard, and then you will see in the bottom left corner of the presentation screen a Q&A button to ask a question. Just click on the button and type in your question. We will address as many questions as possible during the Q&A period of this session. Our presenter for this afternoon session is Carla Pickens, IBM Philippines Country HR Leader. She worked with IBM for the last 15 years in various global and regional roles in consulting and human resources. Carla was born in Washington, D.C., USA, and grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland. She graduated from the University of Maryland, where she attained a BS in Economics and MS in Human Resources. Carla enjoys time with her family, reading, traveling, her work at IBM, and immersing herself in experience in the Philippines. Today, she is sharing with us her experience in working with your generation, also called the Millennial Generation, and tell us about what a career in IBM will be like for fresh graduates. Carla, thank you so much for taking the time from your busy work schedule to share your expertise with our students today. So over to you, Carla.
Thank you, Louie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. When you registered for the event, we sent you a link to a pre-event survey where we asked you what you wanted to learn about the event for today. A lot of you have answered the survey, and thanks to all of you who responded because this really helped us shape real-time today's talk. Based on your answers, we've prepared for you today's agenda, where I'd like to review with you what we're going to discuss today. So the first topic is going to be around the millennials, our next generation workforce, IBM and the millennials, what a career life is like here at IBM, and how to really start your career, and really focus it in on how you will actually jumpstart your career here at IBM. Something that HR leaders are finding out in the past couple of years is the newer generations, the Gen X, the millennials, as you guys are sometimes called, are starting to have a major impact on the workplace. What we have found in some of our studies and articles online, oftentimes millennials can be described as overconfident or impulsive, and other types of adjectives that are described by our millennials. However, what I'm finding from most of the members of the millennial generation, this is really just a small fraction of that generation who may be this way. In my experience in working with this generation, I've seen many traits that would be of value to IBM. The maturity and the innovation and the creativity of many individuals that really goes way beyond self-interest. And they're willing to work really hard and extremely dedicated to achieve their long-term goals given their fulfillment needs that they have. Mature millennials are the ones who want to really make an impact to their community. And I find this to be something that is really admirable about this generation, and their willingness to help others and willingness to be involved in their communities. So as we move on in the slides, The mindset that's reflected in the way that the millennial generation views their career is that in which we think will really lead to a mature millennial to look for work in a company like IBM. Millennials are looking for respect and recognition and appreciation from their leaders and peers in the workplace. They're interested in affiliation with potentially groups and communities throughout their social as well as their professional life. They're looking for a company that matches their values, very values-driven, and a culture where they can express new ideas and be creative. The curiosity is what really excites this generation. Contributing to their community, like I mentioned, and the society as a whole is really important, as well as an opportunity to help others, which is what I have found to be really fantastic about in working with the next gen employees and workers. They're also very interested in challenging work opportunities, so we hear that feedback quite a bit about having interesting and challenging work to do and perform, and always having the ability to grow and learn more and push the envelope. They're also really looking for global opportunities and assignments around the world, and this is something that I find extremely exciting that has been different from previous generations, is the openness of the millennials, the next-gen workers, interested in exploring the world, flexibility and adaptability to work anywhere in the world, to learn about new cultures, to learn new languages, and to really be able to adapt and work in any scenario, which is a fantastic trait in which many companies like IBM are looking for. So we would call you, this generation, the citizens of the world. Next, it's no fun if you don't have play and work involved and really have a balance, more of an integration. So work-life integration is really key. So although we like for you to work hard and this generation wants to work really hard, we also play hard, so we really want to be able to provide you with the flexibility with our flexible work models in various shifts, in various opportunities where you have a flexible work environment where you can balance both your professional and your personal activities in life. So that's very important to IBM. We offer many opportunities for continuous learning, so this is extremely important to us. IBM as a culture has a culture of learning, and I'll speak a little bit more about that. And then we're also looking and hear feedback that the next geners are really interested in support of a team and in support of their manager. So having a leader that will be able to help coach and guide and develop this generation is really critical and key. And then lastly, of course, being team-oriented, making friends and being part of a team-oriented culture is what is of interest to this next-gen group. So now that we've gone through your feedback and what we found to be the aspirational aspects of this workforce, we know that many may be very close to your hearts for those who've answered our pre-event survey, and we want to thank you for doing that. So the fact that you're here with us now and you're listening to this probably means you're part of this group, the ones who really care about their future, care about planning their future, and what you're really going to do after you've completed your education at university or college or post-secondary education. So let's move on and let's start with a little bit about who we are and what we do at IBM. Many people who I've met and who many of our colleagues have met here in the Philippines, the brand of IBM is very familiar, and people know who IBM is. But when it comes down to it, we're really a company that has evolved. I've often heard IBM called as the company of your parents. And today is what we're finding. It is now the company of our parents' children, right? But really not the children, but of the younger generation, which is very, very exciting. So what that means is that we've evolved in the way that we have been over a centennial as a corporation, and we have evolved in the way in which we are approaching our workforce. Oftentimes, we know leading corporations, people don't know what to do, and people don't often know what we offer. But what I'd like to do is share with you who we are and what we are. So why IBM? Well, our former chairman and CEO, Sam Palmisano, talked to the investors of IBM in '09. And this was a really transformative year for IBM. And the reason why is that we really strategized on our 2015 roadmap, what we wanted the next 5 to 6 years to look like in 2009 for IBM as we achieve and continue to grow. And what Mr. Palmisano said is that we have all these things we could do and shift to help people save money or preserve capital in our services business or leverage our software or technology assets to consolidate data centers. We could do advanced analytics. We can reduce operating costs. We can transform your front end and the like. The things that we do have value in this particular market is what he shared. Mr. Palmisano also said IBM's brand has always stood for doing really great things for others and positively influence the way we live, whether that be efficient baggage handling controls at the airport, secure electronic transaction technology used for high secure payments over the internet, or a computing system called Watson that can compete with humans as seen on Jeopardy, the game show. So IBM has really reinvented itself many times. But through it all, our core, IBM's DNA, its soul, remained intact. That's because of something that was part of this company since its inception. IBM's most important innovation wasn't a technology or a management system. Our revolutionary idea was to really define and run a company by a set of strongly held beliefs. So why IBM? How can you determine if IBM is the right place for you? Well, let's try to give you an honest and balanced approach, focusing in on how at IBM you can work where you can be proud of, which is really key. Build a smarter planet. This is where you can make a difference in the work that you do. Also, you can build the career you want. If you are a self-starter, if you have interests, those things will be nurtured here in the career that you want to build. And lastly, we really truly believe the IBMer, the employees that we have that work for IBM, we call them the IBMer. They are the best and they are the brightest in the world. And so you will be amongst those if selected to work for IBM. So let's move forward just a little. I wanted to share with you a little bit of background on our company and just some details that I think are important for you to know about the company that you are exploring. IBM was founded on June 16, 1911, over a past a century ago. We have transformed industry and society with innovations that make the world work better. And to survive and succeed over such a long period of time, we've had to really innovate. We've had to really transform ourselves continuously. But we've been always guided by our enduring values and our broadly understood identity as a corporation and as a technology company. In 2012, I'm proud to say that I was here to celebrate with all of the IBMers in the Philippines, the 75th anniversary of the Philippines, one of our oldest and operating locations in the world, in the top few. To hold this esteemed reputation within the IBM community. The company has already survived 2 world wars, economic downturns, industrial changes. how many companies can boast the same, what we find is that we have the second most valuable brand in the world. The company won't do anything stupid to compromise that. Its decisions are backed by insightful data, and it keeps its stakeholders in mind. So we're very proud because we're financially strong. We're a value-based company. We have over a 100-year track record of success and innovation. We are a leader in diversity policies. I'm naming our first female CEO, Ginny Rometty, in 2012, and naming our first female president as well in the Philippines, Mariel Almeida Winhofer, who you heard speak earlier. We are a leader in diversity in which we have many women and minority groups represented in our board, represented in our leadership team, and represented in our management and employee populations all over the world. We are a leader who is socially responsible. We're focused on green and efficient technologies, and we have a global volunteer program, which is really exciting. I'll be able to talk a little bit about that many IBMers have participated in. Next, I'd like to focus in on our values-driven culture. Our DNA is really our values. We have one purpose, is to be essential. It's the mantra of which we live. We have one purpose. And that is why we really focus in on and aspire as IBMers and a company over the past 100 years to be essential. We also have Ginny Rometty, who's the president of IBM, has unveiled our 9 practices this year. 139 is our practice. So we have our one purpose in being essential, and then we have our 3 values that we have of focus. And then lastly, we have our 9 practices as well. Our focus is such that we have our 3 values, which are dedication to every client's success, innovation that matters for our company and the world, and lastly, trust and personal responsibility in all relationships. And those 3 values align to our 9 practices here, of which each have 3. So this is really what we live by, 139 at IBM, with our culture of diversity wrapped around it. And as you can see here, our 9 practices are depicted that range from both our personal responsibility, our client focus, and our innovation and creativity, which we embrace at IBM. The next slide, I really want to talk about how we are focusing in on a smarter planet and how we want to change the world in the way that it works. We are working globally and locally. IBM has touched almost every technology you see in our daily lives. When you shop with barcodes or point-of-sale systems, laptops, USB drives, credit card systems, ATM card magnetic strips that are used for security. When you go to a mall, you may see IBM terminals when you buy things at the register. When you go to the airport, you will see terminals in which you check in at the airline counters. They are more than likely IBM systems. Innovation should not stop with inventing. It continues to influence how the world works. And the way that we're doing that is in a more instrumented, interconnected, and intelligent way. We are focused on endless opportunities to provide a smarter planet. A few of our programs that we're focused on around education includes Computer Eyes, where we're providing computer education workshops for visually challenged students. We have also provided Kids Smart Early Learning Program units, computer units, which is a program that supports over 250 institutions here in the Philippines, where we've trained 1,200 teachers and facilitators and helped over 800,000 children across the country to focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics through technology. We also have the Carla Classroom. It's an educational advocacy to bring classrooms to unschooled and neglected children through the use of pushcarts and partnerships with IBM, Florida. Those are some of our key projects that we are very focused on. Others that we are focused on is Project Sahana, is a partnership with the Philippine Red Cross to strengthen disaster preparedness capabilities of the Red Cross. To really mitigate effects of major humanitarian disasters using the Sahana disaster management system. And this is really, really important to the climate in which we have here today. Mangrove reforestation in Olongo Island in Cebu. 100 IBMers in the Cebu planted 10,000 seedlings in the threatened mangrove ecosystem of the Olongo Islands. And then lastly, Save the La Mesa Watershed Partnership with Bante Kalakasan, ABS-CBN Foundation, where 1,000 IBMers in Manila, along with families and friends, transplanted 800 seedlings that will eventually combat soil erosion and flash flooding, conserve rainwater in La Mesa, a watershed. And then IBM has also pledged to sponsor 2 hectares of forest land. And these are just some of the activities that we have done around changing the world. Lastly, on this slide shows something very exciting in which Davao City was the first smartest city selected by IBM to really be our pilot for our Intelligent Operations Center. Very exciting. It was launched last year and it's fully operational and deployed to really interconnect the EMS services as well as the security and the police and fire in an integrated way, in a technological way, to be more efficient to manage these city agencies in Davao. So this is a showcase for us around the world, Davao being one of our first smarter cities. Actually, I'd like to really focus in on some of the other activities that we do. You can find out more about at ibm.com for the Philippines, other activities if you are really interested in some of our humanitarian and volunteer activities. IBMers can participate in that, which is very exciting. I'll talk a little bit about the Corporate Service Corps later, in which you can volunteer a month of your time to participate in a project anywhere around the world that you're selected for your skills. And this is very exciting. And the Philippines have had several Philippine IBMers who have participated in this. So let's move on. Let's get into more exciting topics around careers. So now I want to shift focus from who IBM is and now focus in on careers. This is really, really key. So let's talk quickly about the different business units in IBM. There's a multitude of career opportunities, but it's really important for you to understand what we are comprised of as an organization. So IBM as a company has 8 core business functional areas, which we call business units. They span from hardware, software, services, sales, research, and development. We have a very diverse business portfolio that provides tremendous opportunities for you to competitively pursue a variety of different work environments without even leaving IBM. So what many IBMers say, like myself, you don't have to leave IBM to have a new career. You could just take the opportunity to move into and do something new. So you have the ability to do that because you'll own your own career. It allows you to also experience different work environment, as well as allows you to experience broader variety of roles, change professions, or grow in the profession that you have, and gain access to more skills, experiences, different functions, different business units, and different roles. So IBM offers a wealth of opportunities and lines of business with over 400,000 employees. You can only imagine the opportunities that we have for movement around the organization and movement within country as we are growing. Also, whether you're interested in consulting or computing, research, retail, software, or sales, there's something for you at IBM. Many of our units have offices worldwide, and you can find opportunities. What's really exciting about the Philippines, and as you can see depicted here on the slide, we have the majority of these operations represented here. We have the Global Business Services Organization. We also have the Global Technology Services Organization. organization. We have sales and distribution. We have just started a research branch, which we are anticipating growth. We've also started, and we're growing in software group. We have a systems and technology group as well. We support and have a global financing group, and we have our regional corporate shared services organization that helps in the day-to-day operations right here in the Philippines. So lots of variety from an organizational perspective. The next slide is really around our Career SMART framework. Now that you've seen the opportunities around the IBM business units, on a broad sense, we want to share with you how you would be empowered to direct and manage your career. Using IBM's award-winning customized professional development tools, which is called the Career SMART framework, IBM has also a global placement opportunity framework where you can also look into international global opportunities. And those are called our global mobility programs, in which it enables IBMers to develop a stronger pipeline of globally adept leaders and thinkers or employees who really want to focus on developing our leaders for the future and develop our future talent. This can be in the technical or leadership area or a client need, or it could be self-initiated by an employee who has an interest to work abroad. When you start your career, you can start your career in one country, but if you are interested and you could put in your career plan during our International Student Hiring Program, which countries you're interested in working in. You can, after orientation and developing through your career programs, you can also move abroad. Our IBM Career Development Suite gives you an opportunity to plan your career. It's really important to managing your career, and we hire talented people that we can provide rich development opportunities that they need to deliver innovation that matters for our clients and for the world. You'll find a wealth of employee resource available for growing your career, and we have a really simple process here on this slide, 3 simple steps. One is plan your development. This is really key. So this is where you actually determine what you want to focus on in your career. You select the career track. You actually select a career role. And then you select your core skills that you have, but also the skills you want to develop. And so once you've put together your plan around your career, the roles that you want to attain, it may be a short or midterm plan. It would be a 1-year plan, what you want to achieve in the first year, or be up to a 5-year plan if you know out that far what you'd like to do and the experiences and roles you want to hold. Once you have that plan, we encourage you to work with your manager who will serve as a coach. We also encourage you to get a mentor to help you with your plan, your career plan. We also would advise that you meet both with your mentor and your manager to really get feedback on your plan. And then the next step would be for you to gain experiences from the plan. So no plan is great unless it's executed. It's only a plan. So that's why we have this 3-step process. So you would gain those skills and experiences to achieve the plan that you've designed for yourself with the help of your leaders and management team and your coaches and mentors. And then once you've gained those experiences, now you've created more marketability, more skills and opportunities for you to grow your career and do more. And once you've done that, you want to reflect back in any plan, right? After you've gained experience, you want to track your progress. You want to be able to say, this is what I've completed, this is what I've achieved in my career plan, this is where I'm headed, this is where I'm going. So it's really taking a look back and commemorating your successes and tracking your success around what you've done in your plan. And then if you haven't completed some aspects of your plan, being able to go the next step and focus on making those activities part of your plan for a future year. Just some quick, fast facts. IBM has invested over $800 million in employee learning, and the average IBMer spends about 60 hours on an annual basis in professional development. Our program is award-winning, customized and comprehensive, so you can customize the plan for your own needs. And we have a variety of ways in which you learn. You learn through online tools. You can learn through case studies and scenarios. Our catalog of learning is over 60,000 resources in which you can grow critical competencies. We have a Learning and Explorer tool. You have access to databases where you can search for jobs. And you can also get coaching and feedback and reach out to networks. And you can sign up for a mentor all through our online too. So it's very social and mobile, very interactive tool set that we have, both face-to-face, online, and self-paced learning tools. So next I want to go into just my last few pieces around a career at IBM, and I've alluded to the Corporate Service Corps. This is such an exciting program, and I'd like to commend the Filipinos who represent one of the largest groups in countries who have participated in the Corporate Service Corps. This brings together teams of high potential IBMers from around the world to help with long-term or short-term economic or environmental issues or other challenges countries may face. It's a global collaboration. These teams are deployed in many countries every year, and it's a one-month project where those IBMers would go to help and solve or to provide plans to solve major issues in a particular company. This is an exciting program that many participate in on an annual basis. And we also provide opportunities for online communities and forums to participate in with tools and technology. And we also have what we call our jams, in which IBMers come together several times a year to talk innovation and values and client experience and to give their ideas on how we can continuously reinvent and innovate ourselves. And lastly, we have the World Community Grid, which is a computing platform utilized in donating idle time to computers to help researchers find cures to human diseases, fight war hunger, and address critical environmental issues. And many of the funds can be directed to a charity of your choice. And one of the charities is Rice Growth here in the Philippines. It's one of the major projects that have received major donations from the World Community Grid. So in summary, I'd like to move on as I wrap up talking about opportunities for careers. And to review what I've talked about today, here's what I want you to consider about IBM. We believe we are an employer of choice, and we believe that we offer a great career value proposition for people who would like to become IBMers. I hope you've learned something about us today, and we hope that you've discovered reasons to join IBM. We believe we are a company that you can be proud of because we are focused on work for the world. We're continuously interested in building a smarter planet where you can literally make a difference and be an innovator. You can build a career that you want with countless possibilities within IBM, and you can work with the best and the brightest, really collaborating to produce results that positively impact our world. IBM is the place for you if you apply winning strategies and fresh perspectives to cutting-edge tools and solutions in technology to pioneer advancements from our IBM research and innovation teams. If you want to anticipate, adapt, and create and support tomorrow, this is the place for you. If you want to join a world-class team of developers, engineers, and consultants working together to meet our clients' needs, this may be the place for you. And if you enjoy interacting with customers in a wide variety of fields, such as media, manufacturing, government, finance, and many more, IBM may be the place for you. So be part of something great. We hope that you will become one of the next IBMers. And as I depart, I'd like to share with you just what I think are some key tips for you as millennials to start thinking about your future career. It would not be appropriate as an HR leader to share with you some tips on how to be successful in your career. So these are my 5 tips as we depart that I'd love to share with you. One is I think it's really important that you nurture relationships. In an age of technology, social media, mobile phones, tweeting, LinkedIn, Facebook, and the like, it's really important to nurture relationships, to pick up the phone and speak with others, to network with people, to blog and to share your skills and knowledge in a really proactive and positive way, to request and meet with people, to have a coffee, to learn something new, to attend an event that's of interest to you. So networking and nurturing personal relationships is very key. It does go a long way, and it is really recognized and noticed. The other thing that's helped me in my career, which I think is really important to share, is choose a mentor that's worthy. Very, very important. And it's really not a mentor, but it's the type of a mentor. It could vary. When you are a new hire, you may want to have a buddy to show you the ropes in a company. You may want to have a mentor who will help you with your career. You may even have a mentor for a role that you aspire to be like. You may want to have a skills mentor or a job mentor. It could vary. Important. I want you to always be thinking about that as you join a corporation, a reputation, your ethics, integrity, and the way you present yourself in such a socially mobile world today out here on the internet. It's really key that you're presenting your best face and best foot forward. And then fourthly, use the proper channels. Being outspoken is terrific. We embrace that. We love different points of views at IBM, but it's really, really important that you use good common sense and use proper channels when you're trying to make an impact. So it's important that you understand processes and understand the rules and policies and procedures that should be followed. It goes a long way as you are trying to make an impact. And lastly, don't lose sight of your goals. This is something that I think is very critical, is to always set goals every year on what you want to achieve and accomplish, like I've described today in our career programs. So those are my tips for you today. I want to thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you virtually in our ICE Career Exploration events, as well as in many of our events that we have all over the Philippines, where you can go and see on our Facebook page events that we have upcoming for IBMers or potential IBMers to participate in. So I'd like to thank you for attending the session for the IBM Career Exploration for the Philippines. Be sure to also participate in our Q&A portion after the webcast and talk and visit the information booths as well. Thank you very much, and enjoy.